We have a saying around here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no brains, no headache.
Well, hello, boys.
What's up? What's up?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Episode 162, No Brains, No Headache podcast starts right now. I'm your host today. My name is Jordan Weichel, and I'm here with my longtime friend, confidant, and co-host, Matt Ongo Cleary. Matt, as always, how the heck are you?
Doing great. Back from a little bit of a break since I was on vacation, but feels good to be back behind the mic, you know.
Yes, the mandated vacation once a summer. I say, Matt, get the hell out of town. I'm sick and tired of your shit. Regroup, refresh. That's exactly what he did. And we haven't actually recorded in a while, despite the episodes coming out still weekly. And we're on to 162. The number keeps growing. Happy to be here. Like I said, my name's Jordan. We got plenty to talk about today on the podcast we call No Brains, No Headache.
Okay. Let's party.
And party we shall. Episode 162, like I said. And we got right into Cleary's comments. Now, that's the segment where we banter about random things. Just a couple of Bismarck, North Dakota boys going back and forth, verbally harassing each other for about anywhere from 45 to 90 minutes weekly. That's what we're going to do now. It's been a while, and I had a comedy show while you were gone. That's why you weren't able to do it with me. The scheduling did not work out. But we haven't really talked about it, but it was a pretty good time. There's a place over in the goddamn Wild West, Mandan, North Dakota. Mandan, whatever you want to call it. That's where the show was, and it was at a cornhole-themed bar. And I pretty much, cornhole being the game you play in whenever, I guess, since it's inside, you can do it whenever you want now, thanks to Send It 24/7 Cornhole. I guess they're just getting free ads, but yeah, that's where it was, and immediately started my set off with just roasting cornhole players / the owners. I had all sorts of tweets. I manifested this show because way back in March, there was like a business pitch competition, and that business ended up winning it. And my tweet said something along the lines of, the fact that a cornhole-themed bar won the local business pitch competition doesn't give me much faith about the innovation in my community. And I hate cornhole.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. When you were like, yeah, we're going to go do the show. If you want to come meet with the guy, I'm like, okay, well, this place is probably going to suck. Turns out the place is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's just like a giant warehouse, all sorts of cornhole boards, set up. I don't know, like 50. And it's just like cornhole. There's just corn everywhere. It's Cornhole City.
How did you know it was always called cornhole? Because this was like a huge lapse in my life that I didn't know it was called cornhole until I was like 22.
You call it like bags, bag toss, beanbag toss. I don't really give a shit what you call it, because if you ask me to play, the answer is no. There's a very few games I like. I think a while back, a long time ago, we did like the Olympics of like yard games, I believe. Yep. Cornhole was on your list, I believe, not mine.
I think it was on mine. I think it was just like I ran out of games if I did.
You're catering to the audience.
Sometimes you got to do that on Olympics.
That's fine. It's open for interpretation. You do whatever you want. No Olympics this week, but probably have a few more coming up as we continue on here in the year of 2023. Weekly episodes every Tuesday. I don't know what day you're listening, but thank you for listening. We greatly appreciate it. Yeah, I just ripped into the cornhole community / the owners, and so I was the headliner. I had Cole Pick, great comedian, good friend here from Bismarck. Alex Ward, another comedian. He went second. Brandon Loftus, another awesome comedian. We've done a lot of work with him now. Like, if you think about it, it's like, wow, we've done a lot of shows with Brandon. He's a great guy, clean comedian. I don't know how he does it, but great one nonetheless. And then it was me, and yeah, I got out there and just immediately ripped into them. And I warned him. I'm like, by the way, I have a few jokes where you're going to be the butt of the joke.
About 90% of my jokes are cornhole related.
Well, and then apparently as I was going through it, a couple, like I think one of the owner's wives was like, wow, we invited him over here. Now he's just ripping into us. It's like, honey, this is comedy. Okay. You invite a comedian to a cornhole place and you think I'm not going to fucking make fun of cornhole people? And then to be perfectly honest, I think I don't like the game of cornhole. I just don't like that name, but I'm going to stick to it. I don't like the game of cornhole just because I'm bad at it.
Oh, yeah, my aunt. So when I was at the cabin, I kept getting asked. I'm like, no. I'm like, cornhole's stupid. She's like, you suck at it? I'm like, yep, big time.
Well, I know that, at the lake cabin community that I've been known to regulate, years ago, they always have tournaments on like the 4th of July and special holidays. And so I entered one. You get a random pick of who your partner is. Ended up getting a pretty good partner. It was looking like we could go all the way. And then I sucked. And then like my partner wouldn't talk to me.
He sold his cabin the day after.
Yeah, he was just so upset at how bad I was that like wouldn't talk to me. And I was a little traumatized, like pretty much just lost a friend. I was just like, whatever, I guess. But
I'll stay on my side of the lake.
Yeah, needless to say, I haven't entered my name in any recently. But thank you so much to them for having me. Great turnout. I believe it was over 100 people. The hospitality was amazing, Matt. They're like, here, we're going to make this into your like green room. Put some couches in here. We got a fridge back here. And then like part of our deal was, our payment. And then I asked for some free tickets to give to some fans, some lovely fans out there. And then I'm like, I also want a bar tab for every single comedian. And they're like, no problem. This is a bar. No big deal for us. They had a fridge full of beer and like some fireball shooters and stuff, which proved to be my downfall. But it was just like, are we supposed to drink all that beer? Like, that's a lot of beer in there. And like, thank you, but that's a lot. Kind of went a little overboard.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think I was talking to Alex, but he was like, oh, Jordan, have you seen my wallet or something like that? And you were just at the end of the show, like, been a while of drinking. He's like, have you seen my wallet? And you're like, yeah, it was a good show, man.
Oh, I think he was trying to come up to me for payment, and I was like talking to someone, and he's apparently never interrupted a conversation before. And then I'm pretty sure my dumbass, like, I have a pair of pants that's proven to be a big liability. A lot of shit falls out of the pockets, and yeah, I'm pretty sure my payment fell out of my pocket. So somebody else definitely found my payment of cash just laying on the floor, probably, and like, yeah, that was not great at the end. Like, well, and they had so many drinks there, and then like I look in the fridge and there's like a bunch of these fireball shooters. And I'm like, all right, let's drink these. And I did one with a comedian. Then a bartender came backstage. I was like, I didn't think they were gonna say yes. I was like, hey, you want to do a shot? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okie dokie. And then kind of walked out to the bar area. I kind of wanted to stand in the back and just see how the other guys were doing before I went on. Somebody pointed me out. They're like, oh, aren't you the comedian tonight? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, shots. And I'm like, okay, here we go. And then like it's one of those.
And they weren't the same shots, so you're getting like different shots.
I had like 2 like fireballs and a random shot bought by a patron. But it was just like, it was one of those when you kind of have a lot of drinks at once, and then like obviously it all hits you at a certain time. Like people always talk about if you were to do like mushrooms or something or an edible, you like wait a half hour, 45 or an hour for it to hit you. And like with alcohol, we should give more thought to that of like, oh, I just did a shot. Maybe I should wait like 25 minutes at least. And instead it was like 3 and 25 minutes. But yeah, I nailed my set. Felt really good about it. Like I said, great crowd. Once again, a child in the crowd. And I was just like, quit bringing children to my goddamn comedy shows. Like, they are going to be traumatized. They are going to say some shit that they shouldn't be saying. This is comedy. This is made for 18 plus, in this case, 21 plus. But there is that side in particular, really any age was allowed in. So I was like, whatever, I guess. Like, I'm not going to tell you how to parent. I'm not going to tell you how to parent. I don't have any children, so I'm not going to tell you how to raise your children. If it was me, I would maybe have just left the kid at home. But nonetheless, we also, they did a really good job. They had a really nice setup. They had a stage for us, and then even had a spotlight. And like pre-show, we were kind of like testing everything out, doing a sound check. And I'm like, okay, let's take a look at this light. And it was probably a light that they have in prisons in case like somebody breaks out and tries to escape. That's how bright this fucker was. It was just like, oh my goodness.
Was it one of those that you like pull a lever for it to come on and then it's like...
It was just like a normal old spotlight that, I don't know, they rented from somewhere, which is fine. Like, I'm all for the theatrics and like, comedy, stand-up comedy that is such a new concept to the Bismarck-Mandan area. That's where we come into play, trying to bring it to the area and have fun while doing so. So I'm all for people like taking it serious, wanting it to be a good show and like wanting it to like do well and have people feel like, wow, this is a legitimate show. And it did have that feel. However, this spotlight was blinding. Like, I could not see a thing. And if anyone ever has watched any of my shows before, me on stage, I'm all over that stage. Like, I can't stand still. I think it's my nervous, like, tick, I guess. And, like, I just have a hard time just standing there and, like, telling jokes. Like, I think I do a really good job of examining the crowd and addressing the crowd. But I just can't stand in one place. So, like, more often than not, you would just see me, like, in the corner of the stage, not in the spotlight. And, like, I kind of did that so I could see. But a little show secret for everybody, and I'm not ashamed of it. I have a cheat sheet. Like, that's what I do. And like other comedians, they'll bring up like a little book or a note card, or a piece of paper of just, and all I have on there is keywords. Like just one keyword for that joke, and then so on and so forth. So I usually tape that to the stage right in front of me. It was so bright and so dark, I had to like, what the fuck? Granny panties. Yeah, that's it. That's the joke. Like, it was really hard to see. But overall, really good show. My first show over in Mandan. I don't know if that's much of an accomplishment. It's just the city across the river from Bismarck. But still cool to like go to a new area.
Broaden your horizons, if you will.
Yeah, and like I think that because like as a comedian, when you get hired out for a show, because that was my first show where I got hired out, where it wasn't us, no brains, no headache, putting on our own production. So I kind of had to do I still wanted to promote it, obviously, but I wanted them to promote it a lot more. So I let them do that, and like, it's like cornhole is like a whole, what do I call this? A subculture. That's what I was looking for, a subculture. And so they have, thousands of followers on their social media, and then like their own, interpersonal groups and friends and family and supporters and stuff like that. So yeah, they did a really good job of promoting it, but I was, I was trying to get people there, obviously, but it was just good to kind of break into a new market, I guess.
Do something in a new environment. I feel like
a different venue, because now the last 3 shows I've done have all been at different venues, which is cool. It's just cool to see it together. So yeah, thank you so much to them for having us out there. Possibility of us doing some podcasts over there in the future. So, and we're just gonna roast like people. Like John over there on lane 8. He's on the team General Cornhole Wallace. Terrible.
Hats off to you for getting a sponsor for a cornhole team. That's fucking stupid.
I mean, I'm all for it. I don't want to judge people in what they do. It's your life. You can do whatever you want. But I think it's just bizarre that people have like jerseys and shit and like custom bags and like. But hey, to each their own, man. I'm not going to judge you. You do whatever you want. Don't worry about what I'm doing. I'm not going to worry about what you're doing. I'm going to roast your ass. It's my job. Self-appointed, of course.
Naturally.
But yeah, always fun to do a comedy show. I think every time we have a show, honestly, some of the best times is just like hanging out with the fellow comedians in the back, BSing before the show. Like, and it's crazy how quick it goes. It's like because you have all this lead up, you rehearse your jokes, you get prepped, make sure everything's nice and tight, and then like the day of comes, and then you're up there, depending on how long your routine is, 20, 30, 40 minutes, and then it's over. And it's just like, okay, wow, it's like, I don't know, like a professional athlete, you work all week. Like an NFL player, you work all week on you're learning your plays and getting ready and rehabbed, and then it's just like, oh, we just 7 days straight for like 3 hours. But no, it was a really fun time. So happy to do some more comedy shows. And while we're on the subject, stay tuned. We're going to announce the date for Comedy Night 5 very soon. So should be a good one. It'll be our fall show. So really looking forward to that. Do you have anything that, catch up on? What's going on in
a couple
Matt's
things
life?
that happened on vacation that I thought were pretty funny. So my dad got my Uncle Pete a piñata, and he just filled it with a bunch of like random shooters of booze. And this piñata looked like a huge testicle, and it was just hanging from a tree, and then like hit it with a PVC pipe. And then all these shooters come falling out. And so my cousin DJ P-Rack, he comes up and just starts grabbing shooters and is handing them out to people. He'd be like, oh, that's definitely like Fireball, that's you. And then like handing it to people. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to take whatever he gives me. And he gives me Dr. McGillicuddy's menthol.
Yikes.
Awful.
Not terrible.
I mean, it could have been worse, but then night goes on and we take a late night pontoon ride, and me and my brother Joe are on the dock, and DJ P-Rack's behind us, and I was like, hey, Joe, do you have your phone on you? Because I was definitely just going to tackle him into the water. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I do too, but it might be worth it.
Shit, I do too. Didn't really think that one through.
Yeah,
man.
I was just going to kamikaze myself. But then all we hear is this splash, and then just the most casual, oh, drop my phone in the water. I'm like, oh my God. You look down, and my cousin's phone's just sitting at the bottom of the lake. And he's like,
Was it lit up?
No, it was on the back. So like you could just see like the 3 bubbles for the cameras. And he's like, oh, drop my phone in the water, and just like casually gets in the water. I'm like, Jesus.
Gotta watch out. Gravity don't play fair, never has, never will. The phone in the bottom of like, at least it's a clear lake. Like my lake cabin, 4th of July, a year or two ago, I was feeling myself, having the beverages. I was laying out on the pontoon on the lift, so I was out on the dock and just kind of getting some sun. And like I said, I had a few drinks. That's a crucial part of this story. And I'm like, okay, I'm pretty hot. I've been laying out for a while. It's nice and steamy out. So I just casually like get up, go onto the dock, and then I just do like a headfirst dive into the water. And immediately when I hit the water, I like, I grab my face. I'm like, fuck, my glasses were on there, and they're already off. And then so you can't see where very well. It's not like super dirty, but it's just like you can't. Like in your case, it sounds like you can see all the way to the bottom. Yeah, I kept diving down, like searching with my hands. At one point, I got a rake out, and you're just kind of like sifting through the bottom, and I'm like, okay, maybe it floated over here, and it was just like, this is a lost cause. Like
2 hours later, you're in a full scuba suit, just.
Well, have you seen those videos of people who like go fishing with magnets? The magnet fishing.
They always find like guns or bikes and shit.
Yeah, and like have to report a murder.
Oh, sweet, another shopping cart.
Yeah, it's like 4th one a day. I was on the Missouri River going into a bay, and there was like a kid off the side, like near a little bridge thing, and he was doing that, and we're like, hey, did you get anything? And he's like, yeah, I found this knife, and it was just like a little like jackknife, like the folding knife. So I was like, oh, wow, he actually did find something. That's sweet. Because I imagine magnet fishing could possibly be more boring than actual fishing, but I think when you find something, it could be cool.
Well, I just imagine like me doing it, and you do it on like a bridge, and I'm like, oh, this thing's really heavy, and I just start pulling up like some sort of power line that's in the water or something.
Yeah. Gotta watch out for it. But hey, let's get into some Cleary's comments. That's a segment where we banter about random things. We've been doing it pretty much the whole time of the show's existence. It's usually a pretty good time. We'll go back and forth, and then I see we will finish up with Facebook Marketplace. It's been a while. We got a couple doozies we need to talk about.
So the first thing I want to talk about is trying to describe movies without them sounding terrible. One that came up was the movie In Time with Justin Timberlake. Have you seen it?
No, I'll look it up though.
And I was like, it's a pretty good movie. And someone else on the boat's like, it sucks. And then someone else is like, no, I actually kind of liked it. And they're like, someone's like, what's it about? And I'm like, well, if I describe it, it's going to sound stupid. And they're like, you know what? Just go for it. I'm like, all right, so we're 40 years in the future and everyone stops aging at the age of 28. And all I hear is, I'm out. I'm like, damn it. How did I lose them already?
Here's the simple Google synopsis. In a future where time is money and the wealthy can live forever, Will Salas, Justin Timberlake, is a poor man who rarely has more than a day's worth of life on his time clock. When he saves Henry Hamilton from time thieves, Will receives the gift of a century. However, such a large transaction attracts the attention of the authorities, and when Will is falsely accused of murder, he must go on the run, taking the daughter of an incredibly wealthy man with him. A 2011 film starring Justin Timberlake, Amanda Seyfried.
Yeah, and that daughter is incredibly hot, too.
Well, it helps.
But then I'm just going through, I'm like, okay, I'm going to describe a movie, and, like, even if it's a good movie, I'll make it sound shitty. It's like, okay, these parents are planning to go on a vacation, and somehow they leave one of their kids at home.
Home Alone.
Yeah, but it's like, the premise of that doesn't sound that great.
Yeah, I mean, the Home Alone debate it's a tough one. You almost have to say something like a Wolf of Wall Street description of like, these guys are pretty much illegally trading and they make it to the tippy top and they start doing a bunch of cocaine and hookers. It's like, well, that actually sounds quite lovely.
It's like a former basketball player was golfing, and when he reached in to grab the ball, he got sucked into an underground universe where he's forced to play basketball with a bunch of cartoons. That sounds horrible.
That does sound terrible. That does sound very bad.
An inmate who's about to be released from prison goes on an airplane where it gets taken over by the other inmates. Yeah. That one actually sounds pretty good, though.
That is such a good movie, even despite Nicolas Cage's like
terrible accent.
He's got a terrible accent. He just looks funny with like his long hair, and he's just a hairy beast. All-star cast though.
Oh yeah, Malkovich is in there.
I just watched The Big Lebowski.
Danny Trejo
recently. All-star cast.
Steve Buscemi.
All-star cast. The Big Lebowski.
Who's the? I had a trading card with him on it, and I gave it to Ryan Eggs. But yeah, I mean, it's...
What are you talking about?
I'm trying to think of the agent in Con Air.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I can't remember, but...
John Cusack,
yep. And then... But, I mean, it's just so hard to describe a movie to someone in, like, a synopsis without it sounding terrible. Even if it's a great movie.
Maybe you're just bad at describing
things. 100%. Like, that's kind of what I was getting at. Like, if a movie should be named Con Air, yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Space Jam, they're not actually in space. Snakes on a plane, you get what you pay for. It's literally the name of the movie.
Yeah, Snakes on a Plane is a real doozy. Real quick, since we're on movies, I don't think either of us have seen either of these movies yet, but pretty big weekend for the box office. I'm sure everybody's talking about it, but the Barbie movie came out, as well as Oppenheimer.
I want to see Oppenheimer.
It
sounds super good.
Does look pretty good. What are your thoughts on just movies in general lately? Like, I feel like a lot of people I talk to are like, I haven't been to a movie in so long, meaning they haven't gone to the theater and watched a movie. And then there's like the few rare people who are like, I do it all the time. And I'm kind of right in the middle where it's just like, you know what? If there's a good movie there, and like, it helps when it's not summertime, because it's just like,
kind of sucks at coming out and it's like, oh, it's nice out, and I just wasted 3 hours sitting in a dark hole.
That's okay. I mean, Bismarck, North Dakota is experiencing a scorcher right now. We are in the mid to high 90s, which I am not complaining. Okay, I don't want to complain. We get extreme weather here, whether really hot or really cold. But It's definitely, when you hit like the high 90s, 100s in North Dakota, that is very comparable to like the negatives.
Yeah.
Because it is uncomfortable walking from whatever establishment you are to like your car or into work, with the exception being like when it's hot out, you know, you can just chill out by a body of water, or, you know, like being outside and like walking in like the shade, or just being outside is like a bit more enjoyable than the cold weather, but it's still like getting into the car is rough. I mean, you're just sweating, back sweat.
It's like, how did I go from in my car walking a half a block into the office and I have back sweat already?
And then right now we are experiencing, you know, the great weather temperature that is. Then you go into any sort of establishment, office, your bank, library, the bar, whatever, freezing.
Yep.
Just absolutely freezing. Nipples hard.
Well,
I have been nipping out for weeks.
The contrast is what gets you. Because in the fall, in the spring, it's not that much of a contrast going, but when you're changing like 40 degrees, it hits you hard. And some bars are worse than others.
Well, that's a quick note on my last comedy show. The hospitality, once again, was just absolutely amazing. I actually forgot to say something about that, so I'll just randomly throw it in. We're all over the place. This is No Brains, No Headache podcast, people. If you don't like it, that's on you for listening to a show called No Brains, No Headache. Anyway, the green room, I was in there before, like kind of when we toured it, and it's just like a woodworking shop. It's like just a back room shop, and it was hot as hell when we toured it. But they like turned on the AC for us, had that on full blast, had fans in there. So I'm like taking pictures like pre-show. Every picture I have, it's just turkeys are done. Bing! My nipples are just peeking through my shirt, and it's just like, God damn it. Like, I just wanted to get a couple nice pictures. And of course, no, but I actually had to like turn up the air conditioner, the temperature that I was blasting at, because since I was the headliner, I was back there the whole time, just like trying to relax and like chill out and like go through my last minute lines, and it's just like it is so cold back here.
It's like you drinking the Fireball shooters just to warm up your insides.
So what I was going to say real quick, I'll just interrupt and we'll just be all over the place. That's our style. As you can see here, if you're watching on YouTube, check us out on YouTube. The whole episode's up. Matt does a great job of that. We have some Tums here because it's just important to have at this table. So I'm like the backstage mom, as you've probably come to find out over our last few shows. Like, Matt pretty much shows up in like a stupid outfit, no offense, but a stupid outfit, and then like a note card and like his phone and like 12 beers. Like, I'm over there, I have like 2 like bags full of stuff, but I always bring like some toiletries. I always bring baby powder. And I always bring antacids because it's like, yo, like if we're going to be drinking a little bit.
You get a little bit of nervous, you get a little beer in you, and it tends to come back up. You need the antacids to settle the stomach.
Yeah, so I had those, and then, Matt and I actually gave a presentation about this podcast and NBNH Media last week, and I said that, and then one of the audience members asked during the Q&A, was like, what's the baby powder for? And I'm like, I really wanted to say, I actually lay on the ground, I go spread eagle, and then one of the other comedians gets my gooch full of baby powder so I don't.
Have you ever changed a baby?
Yeah.
Similar to that.
I'm just doggy style, just like spreading the cheeks. It's like, no, dude, it's for your hands. Like, you put the baby powder on your hands because if you're a little nervous, your hands sweat. And, like, there's a way around that. Like, as humans, we have created just about anything we need to like help us be a better version of ourselves. Like, I don't want to go up there with all these clammy hands, and then after the show you're shaking hands and hugging people. It's like I just want to have a nice dry hand. That's why I have the baby powder. I'm the backstage mom. This last show I brought snacks. Nobody ate any of them. I kept being I was like, it was as if I showed up for like a shift at like an office.
If you were going on a field trip.
No, I had a turkey sandwich. I did. I was like, I have a drinking problem, okay? And when I have comedy shows, I tend to drink a lot. And if you drink a lot on an empty stomach, it is not very ideal. So I knew I was in for a night. So I brought a turkey sandwich. I mean, I offered the other half. I cut it diagonally, which is actually what I'm going to talk about in my next Cleary's comment. But nobody wanted the other half, which I don't blame them. I didn't have any dressing on there, so it's a dry turkey sandwich. I had a bunch of beef sticks, and then I think I had another snack. And it's like everybody who came back there was like, hey, you want some? Hey, you want? Like the owners came back. Everybody turned me down. I was like, you know what, guys? Next time I'm not bringing any I'm bringing snacks. I'm not offering, and keep your hands off my baby powder, because I hope you have clammy hands up there, you son of a bitch. But I also did shotgun a beer in the back with one of the owners, so that's pretty cool.
I mean, I think we shotgun a beer at every single comedy show.
But a big roundabout way of saying I invited some lady friends to the green room after the show, as an entertainer does. I mean, what's the glory of groupies if you don't utilize them? So I invited some back, and then I was autographing my tweets, because I had my tweets on a note card. Like I printed them out and put them on a note card, and I autographed them. And then one girl was like looking at my bottle of antacids. It's like, you want me to sign that? She's like, sure. So I signed the bottle of antacids and gave it to her. Naturally, the next day, I am like a bit hungover and could actually use them. And I'm like, where the fuck are my antacids? I was like, oh yeah, I signed the bottle of antacids and gave it to...
I remember I texted you the next morning. I'm like, how was the show? And all you said back was, I'm still drunk.
It wasn't my best. It wasn't my best post-show performance. If I could go back, I would do things differently, but can't really do that, so I'm not going to dwell on it. No regrets, but like I said, I had all those like pre-show drinks.
Brought a turkey sandwich?
Brought a turkey sandwich. Apparently that wasn't enough to soak up all the booze, shockingly, and then after the show, it all just kind of hit me. Well, I mean, also when you have it's like when you're at a wedding and it's like open bar for 2 hours, better hit it up, and then like
drink as much as possible.
Then like just a couple hours later, like jump up and shout now, hey-oh, hey-oh. And you're like, how did I get so drunk? Oh yeah, when you tell humans free drinks, they lose all self control and discipline.
Yeah,
and I'm only human after all, so I definitely fell for the...
Well, I do the thing
drinks.
too, where if it's like we got free keg beer for like 2 hours, and it's not a keg that I like if it's like, we'll say a light beer that I don't like, I'll just drink 3 really fast. Mm-hmm. So then I really don't care what it tastes like. Pro tip.
Yeah, we are binge drinkers.
I'm gonna swing back to movies just for one comment.
Let's just do the 3-man weave right now.
I saw this like I saw this map, and it was like what each state is excited for, like movie wise, and it was like scattered like Barbie or Oppenheimer.
Okay, just those 2 options?
No, they gave them all the options, but it was just like obviously those are the 2.
Like of movies though.
Yeah,
okay.
that are coming out.
Okay.
And fucking Ohio was the only outlier. Ohio was excited for Bird Box Barcelona.
On Netflix?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to watch that.
I watched the recap of it, which took 12 minutes. Good enough for me.
I'm looking up new 2023 movies, and nothing looks good. Paw Patrol has a movie coming out. Dude, why... Was it the pandemic? Like, why? When did movies get so bad?
I think this weekend is going to, like, movie theaters are going to be like, nice, we had a huge weekend. We'll probably have another big one this coming weekend. And then we're going to use that for the next 6 months to coast until another big movie
Then we're going to
out.
cut 40% of our staff because we're not going to need them.
And be like, hey, can you come back? I know you're on unemployment right now.
I don't like... Of course, we don't have any originality anymore, where they're doing a remake of White Men Can't Jump. In 2023, I don't know how that got approved.
It's on Hulu already.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so these are... Yeah, dude, the pandemic fucked the movie industry.
Everything's a sequel or a remake. Because it takes...
How is White Men Can't Jump... What if it was White Men Can Jump? Does that get approved in modern day? No. The answer is no.
No. Well, and like the thing about it is there's like 5 directors that are going to put out a banger of a movie every time, Christopher Nolan being one of them, but it takes him like 6 years to write a movie.
Yeah, like the only thing I could think of that like I don't see that it's coming out anytime soon. Like Dune Part 2 or whatever.
Yeah, but it got delayed for a year, so it's like 2025.
Well, I don't fucking know. That's the only thing I can think of where it's like, oh, you know, like when that comes out, I'm gonna make an effort to like go see that.
Yeah.
There's a Transformers 7. Apparently.
I mean, I'm a big Transformers guy, but you lost me after Shia LaBeouf.
You don't turn on family. Fast and Furious 18.
I do love Fast and Furious. I want to see, but I'm not going to go to...
No. Like, okay. Your first, how many Fast and Furious? And I'll even go as far as to say Tokyo Drift. Good film.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic film.
I don't like 4, which is probably hits home because that's probably the highest rated one.
I have to look these up because I'm obviously the first one and then Too Fast and
Furious, Tokyo Drift, and then there's Fast and Furious, and then there's Fast 5, Fast 6, Fast 7, Fast 8, Fast 9, Fast 10. But we went from stealing DVD players off of a truck to Mike Winchell's flying a car in space.
Is that what happens later on?
In Fast 9, yeah.
F9, you mean?
Yep. So literally, Mike Winchell and Ludacris are flying a car in space.
They bring Mike Winchell back did they get him out of Tokyo?
Yeah, they brought him and Bow Wow back
from Tokyo.
Yeah, they were. I don't think they were in Tokyo anymore. They were somewhere in Asia.
Well, that's where we left off. Them drifting in Tokyo. I don't know. Fast and the Furious, fantastic. Too Fast, Too Furious, great. Tokyo Drift, I can get behind that. And then they just were like, okay, let's just call it Fast and Furious. I'll accept that one. That's where I draw the line.
Fast 5 is great.
No.
Fast 6 with Jason Statham coming into it.
No.
Also good.
I'm stopping there.
Hobbs and Shaw, not bad.
Nope. I mean, I might be a hypocrite because we're just doing No Brains, No Headache comedy night. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is coming out, but it's like... But it's still original, and it's like...
No Brains, No Headache comedy night, Dead Reckoning.
Or should we just slowly evolve into doing... we talked about this before, doing like adult like plays. Not like inappropriate stuff, but just like as adults, we're just doing like... We've evolved from stand-up comedy to like... Yeah, Matt and Jordan got really into musicals. Now they're doing the rendition of Wicked.
Yeah.
Matt singing Popular.
We're doing a High School Musical, the adult version.
High School Musical, college. It's like, what? I have no idea.
What else you got on the docket?
It's kind of a random observation, but one of my favorite country music artists, Julia Cole, I was, follow her on Instagram, and, she does a lot of content, and she had this reel that said, like, it was her singing, and she's like, send this to the person you want to wake up next to. I was just like, I think that's a terrible idea. Or like, when you see like stuff like, tag the person in this, that's that. It's like, I know who I'm thinking, but I'm not going to do it. And it's like,
you want your third act to sit on your face.
Yeah. Stuff like that. It's like, okay, not only will they probably never sleep with me again, but also order an injunction against me. That's a restraining order. It's like, thanks. I sent your Instagram post, and now I am not allowed to come within 250 feet.
Yeah, I mean, depending on
I have to take a whole new route to work.
I mean, it was nice for when the construction was going on because I used the detour, but now the detour's done and I still have to use it.
Still got to do the detour. It's just like...
I am racking up the miles on my car.
It's like, I get it, algorithm, engagement, so on and so forth, but it's like, I don't think I should take your advice on this one of sending it to the person I want to wake up next to. The answer is nobody. I prefer a bed to myself. Way better sleep. But... begs the question of like, how often do you like see, I don't know, like cheesy quotes or like life advice on any social media? And it's like, how often do you see stuff that contradicts each other?
All the time.
Where it's like the one, like the classic ones are just like cut that negative person out of your life, and then the next person is like, true friends don't give up on friends,
Yeah.
or whatever. It's like,
Make friends with an enemy, and it's like, oh, at this point, I think the negative person in my life is me.
I'm gonna take myself out of their lives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've just been seeing so many different like little like inspirational quotes or like discipline mindset or like investing stuff, and it's just like, it's so contradictory. and there's so much content out there. It's just like, you know, and I'm always the type of person, always constantly want to be self-aware. I want to self-improve. I want to like be the best person I can be at all times and constantly keep changing and growing. I think that's important, and really important to be like aware of that. And like, you know, like our podcast, if you look all the way back of how much we've changed and grown and like learned, that's all important. But it's just like, it's getting difficult to sift through all this bullshit. Cause like, I do see certain quotes where it's just like, man, I do want to listen to that. And I would like, that's a good quote, or that's a good inspirational video or speech or whatever. But it's like, there's so much content. You're spending all your time sifting through the bullshit.
Essentially, the posts are just fortune cookies.
Yes.
I got a fortune cookie because I got some Chinese food the other night, and it's sitting out on the table out there, and it says like, connect with your family members you haven't seen in a while. Give them a call. And it's like, I want to do like a skit where I'm looking at that, and then it's like, hey, Uncle Tim, I know we haven't talked in 25 years.
What the fuck do you need?
But I'm gay. Oh, sorry, wrong number.
Ooh, that was close.
Oh, he's dead? Oh, okay.
Well, and then on top of it, it's just like, you know, I get it. There's so much content out there, all sorts of accounts and stuff trying to do their thing. But it's just like, in a world of like 7-8 billion people, it's just like, how can this one quote specifically apply to like the situation I'm in? Whether it's like, I'm trying to start a business and I'm struggling, or I'm struggling with my job or relationships, like, you know, just things just aren't going well with this person. Like, how am I supposed to decide how this is specifically catered to me when there's so many different circumstances to, I honestly, at the end of the day, I don't listen to it. But like, you know, I get sucked into the trap just like anybody else. So just mindlessly scrolling, and like, I've been doing certain things to like stop that, because I just think it's a waste of time. But with our jobs and having the podcast and media and stuff, like, you kind of have to be on social media. Yeah. Where it's like, I just don't even listen to it anymore. Like, I don't fall for it. It's like,
I think that mine's getting so close to, because everything I want to do is like, it's either like TV show or like skits or something. And so I'm not getting a lot of that, but I do like it. Some will like sneak in when I'm just like scrolling through reels, and it'll be like, you're down in the dumps today. And I'm like, yeah.
Do this every day.
Yeah,
Wake
like,
up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
It's like, no, whoa, I'm not going to do that.
It's like, what you need to do is get up at 5 and go to the gym before your body tells you you're tired. And I'm like, or I could sleep 2 more hours and wake up refreshed. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's to each their own, but like, it's just ridiculous. I think I'm also falling into the trap where now I'm actually even like, here are 5 ways to improve whatever. It's like, okay, I'm going to actually read this just to see how ridiculous it is.
I mean, occasionally I'm having talks with Ben Stiller from the movie Heavyweights.
Yeah.
Lunch is canceled today due to the lack of hustle.
Yeah.
Deal
with it.
I'm sitting at my desk. I'm like, lunch is canceled today due to me not wanting to get up and go get lunch.
And then your stomach grumbles, like, well, time to go get lunch.
3 o'clock, might as well call it lunch and head home.
Oh, man. Lunch is the best part of my day, and I'm excited to talk about sandwiches in a minute. But, yeah, got to watch out for it. I've actually on Facebook specifically, at a certain point, I'll just like sign out because it's not a hassle for me to sign back in. I can just like, and it's not very hard for me to get back in, but it's just like, if you open the app and it's not automatically content, it's like, okay, good. Like that's my constant reminder of, Jordan, you're not allowed on this app for the rest of the night just because like, gotta put the phone down.
Yep.
Even Snapchat, I'll sign out of that. I'm signed into like several Instagram accounts, so I'm kind of afraid to do that on Instagram because I don't want to be like, try to sign back in and then get locked out, and then it's like, okay, now I can't even do my job because I'm running like 7 accounts and I can't get into any of them. But I think that's important too, and I've even heard, a couple people, I'm just taking a break from my phone, or I'm not on social media anymore. It's like, hey, that's great. I'm really happy for you, and I hope that's like helping you improve your life. Put yourselves in our shoes. It is very difficult to not go a few days without social media because then it's like, okay, and now we're not doing what we're set out to do.
And turns out you don't live in the same town as probably half your friends.
Yeah.
So that's how you kind of know what's going on, or you'd be texting or calling them constantly, which would be very annoying.
God forbid that we reach out and talk to each other. Ridiculous. Let's move on.
I have a couple ideas I want to run by you. The first one was actually a nightmare that came up, but I thought it was a good idea because, you go to an amusement park for a thrill. They make adult amusement parks that are for adult things that are scary, like, oh, pregnancy scare.
That doesn't make sense.
Or you have to do your taxes on time.
That doesn't make sense.
Or your mortgage rate just went up.
That doesn't make sense.
That one did.
That actually did make
That's
sense.
what my dream was about. I had somehow my mortgage rate got reversed, so I was paying 97% interest. Things were bad.
Yeah, let's just say I'm not running to any sort of bank to get a loan.
That's a terrible
currently.
idea. It's like I have a lot of regrets. Owning a house is towards the tippy top.
I still owe Matt money for our last vacation, and let's just say he's not going to get it.
Another idea, adult emojis. When they got rid of like the handgun emoji and made it a water gun? I think they need to bring a whole list of emojis that are like adult. Like the suck it sign, or 2 people banging, multiple positions, someone getting wobbly H'd.
I'm probably going to be out on the emoji idea.
I mean, sometimes I just want to put an emoji of like my asshole.
Wait, is it a picture then, or is it an emoji?
It's an emoji
of your asshole?
Of someone's asshole.
Maybe we could let's workshop this idea. Maybe you can take a picture of something and it's an emoji creator. So like you're in your bathroom spreading your cheeks, and then you take a picture of your brown eye, and then it like converts. It's kind of like the cartoon thing I did, where you take like a normal picture and it like turns into a cartoon. Except that one will just take your bunghole and it'll just look like a firework exploding or something.
But what percentage of the eggplant emoji has actually been used for someone that's...
Isn't eggplant terrible?
Oh, yeah, it's awful. It's like what Italians to not eat meat on Friday.
Does it compare to like a zucchini where it's just like, this doesn't taste like anything?
I bet it's over 99% that people use the eggplant emojis for dicks than actually using it for like, make an eggplant tonight, eggplant emoji. If someone texted me that, I would immediately block their number.
Well, and the emojis got soft too, because they used to have like an actual handgun there, and it was like, whoa, somebody got killed because of this emoji. It's like, that's fucking impossible. You're stupid. That's a stupid thought. Nobody died because of this emoji. Just keep the goddamn emoji.
Yeah.
And let's just color it green and call it a water gun. It's like, gangsters out there are probably still like, I'm gonna kill you, bruh, and then send the water gun. Like, it's not gonna stop any murders from happening.
No. But if we had adult emojis, we wouldn't have to worry about this.
I'm gonna fire up these emojis, see what we got here.
But like everything is like, oh, if you're gonna do an eggplant and then the squirt sign, yeah, it's an ejaculating penis.
All right, Matt, you need to chill out. They need to get the shocker in there.
That would be another one.
My thoughts on the emoji would be we just need to be a little more practical, not so soft. We have the middle finger.
Yeah, they brought that out of popular demand.
Like we have the middle finger. What's the problem with that? I think you know what they should do? A cocaine one. Because if it's the nose with the blowing and then the snow thing,
I think there could be a lot more drug related.
Yeah, we need more drug related ones.
Or brandy.
If we're gonna have, is that a pregnant dude? Yeah, dude, that's a pregnant man. I'm gonna send it to you so you can judge for yourself. Unless he's just got a huge cheeseburger locker, not feeling so well. You just got a gut ache, and
might just
when you have a gut ache, and you just like put your hand on your stomach. Like, oh god,
It might just be a fat American.
But I'm just saying, if we're gonna have a pregnant man, can't we have a real handgun? Well, what's more practical? What's more realistic? A handgun or a pregnant man? Ooh, I got a joke for you. Ready for it?
Yep.
This could piss off a few people, and I would be shocked if it did. If you're still listening to the show, anyway, why didn't the transgender man eat meat? I stole this from the internet. I take no credit for this.
Why?
Because he was a her before. Nothing like a stolen internet joke. Yeah, that's a pregnant man right there. What else do we have here? I mean, we have gay couples. I'm not opposed to that, but it's just like, why are we allowed to have certain emojis and not others? There's a blind guy.
Wait, who's texting? Blind people texting now?
Here, I'll send it to you. He's got the walking cane thingy.
Oh.
We have every family combination possible. Lesbians with kids, single dads, single moms, gay guys with kids, single, like only children, only child, only child with parent, both the mom and the dad. What else do we have here? A lot of clothing items, animals. The animals are cool.
Yeah, I do like the animals.
Nature.
Let me float another idea by you.
Yeah, no, keep it coming.
We put beer in vending machines.
I'm all for it.
But you put it for $20. And you put it in public places.
You have some sort of ID reader?
Nope. If kids want to buy beer for $20 a beer, people should be able to make money off of it.
But it's only Bud Light.
Yeah, or it's only a cheap, shitty beer.
I think that's the way Bud Light could probably get their sales back. Just cater to minors.
I mean, that's what they did for years.
That's what they pretty much what they did.
There's no genuine adult who drinks Fireball on a regular basis.
Yeah, there's the water gun. I'm still on the emoji thing. Do they still have the syringe, or do they get rid of the syringe?
I thought they still had it.
Oh, they changed it. I thought before it was like something was coming out of it, and now it's just a normal syringe sending it your way.
I'm not going to get any of these because my system is on Do Not Disturb, so no one calls me during the...
That's never happened before. That's about it. Now I'm at the flags.
Yeah,
so.
And that's where you end.
Yeah. Got the pride flag front and center. That's nice.
Yep. So hit me with your life hack.
Oh, let me pull it up here. So, when you eat sandwiches, I love lunch, by the way. I think everyone can agree that cutting a hoagie sandwich into two halves automatically makes it taste better. Or just like any type of sandwich. I'm a big hoagie guy. I had one the other day. It was from a sandwich joint where their sandwiches are known to just like, as you eat them, they just fall apart.
Yep.
Sick and tired of it. I cut it into 3/3.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I don't think... There comes a point where you get too small.
Yeah.
But if you can get the thirds into like... I think like anything smaller than 3 inches is a no-go. I mean, to take that out of
So
context.
funny, Matt.
That's like 3 times the size of my dick.
Maybe throw a little rouge on ya. Tuck your sack back. You game?
No.
I will say, eating a sandwich that is not cut in half, like a normal bread sandwich that isn't cut in half, is tough. It's just weird.
Yeah, I think if you're listening right now, you're a sandwich joint owner and you're not already cutting your sandwiches in half, I would probably start implementing that immediately. It takes about 2 seconds. You already have a knife there. But what needs to happen is, like, so I have lunch like every day with my boss at work pretty much. Like, that's our time to just kind of shoot the shit. We're still working, but like it's a good time to like sit down, talk about ideas, go through our schedule, just, you know, catch up and BS for a while. Lunch is a great time to do that. So, like, big sandwich eaters. Every time we get a sandwich, like when you go to a butcher shop, I don't expect them to cut your sandwich in half. Like, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
The few butcher joints around here that we absolutely love. Like, they're busy as is, first of all, and it's like,
And you're getting a big ass sandwich
and
for
it's
cheap as
and
shit.
it's usually just like a hamburger bun, which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
I'm not picky. It's what's in between the buns that counts, if you know what I mean. And so I don't expect them to cut it in half, but if I do experience one that's not cut in half, I'll do it. Even when we went to the local watering hole and I ordered my club that last time and I made you pay for it, I cut that in half. It was already cut in half, so I went into fourths technically. It's just the same thing as if like you get catering, you know, and they just have like the little like almost sample sizes, and then you end up crushing like 4 of them. You're like,
I ate
that
an
was
entire sandwich.
That was actually a sub and a half worth, but I think it's the same thing. Do you like Italian subs, like that flavor and style?
Oh, yeah.
They're great. Depending on the ingredient breakdown, they can get pretty sloppy, pretty greasy, fall apart.
I found out that the way the people do Italian subs so often is because it's like the cheapest meat. Like, that's why places do them.
Well, yeah, and it's delicious too.
What is pepperoni? Like, where is it from? A pig?
Dude, that's a super good question.
Like, if I'm getting salami, am I eating a dog?
Cured pork and beef with seasonings.
So it's
a mix.
yeah, okay.
It's like it's like a sauce. Like pepperoni itself is obviously seasoned and spiced a certain way. It's similar to a sausage, and that's what everybody did. I mean, the Germans did that. Italians do that. Like, everybody at one point, I feel, was just like dirt poor.
The Irish never figured out meats. We just ate potatoes for like 300 years. Then those ran out and everyone died, and now we're coming back.
Making a comeback slowly but surely. But it's the same thing of just taking 2 different cuts of meat, grounding it up, putting it in a casing, and then slicing it, which makes sense, you know, just like probably use like the most low quality stuff that nobody else wanted. But
it's like bologna is basically just
I haven't had bologna in a
sliced
while.
hot dogs.
I'm not a big bologna guy.
If I fry bologna, it's good, but I haven't bought it since college.
But yeah, it's pretty much just like, different cuts of meat jam-packed into one. Because why not? That's just the way we do. But yeah, sometimes the Italians can get a little greasy. The subs, that is. Perhaps the people too. I don't really know very many. But that's where you got to watch out. And I think, like, say you're eating a hoagie. Let's just say, for argument's sake, it is 9 inches. And you don't cut it in half. I know I said an inch. I said 9 inches. I know where your head is, but I need it here. Okay? Eyes up here, buddy. You start at one... You start at one end. Here, I have this. I was going to use the banana as a replacement. This is a poor segment right here. If you're eating it as you're going, you're just pushing all of your ingredients out. You cut it into thirds, like I'm proposing now. The 3/3 theory by Jordan Weichel. That's trademark pending. 3/3 theory. It can only go so far. Whereas then, okay, I'm done with the third. On to the second third, so on. Next thing you know, I got 9 inches in me.
Okay, let's wrap up the sandwich things, but sum it all up.
I still have more to talk about.
Don't go more than 3 inches.
Don't do more than 3 inches at a time, I think is what we're coming up to.
And it matters what's in between the buns.
What matters, it matters what's in between the buns, no more than 3 inches at a time. Live by those life rules. You will never be disappointed or pregnant. Road bacon.
Oh, yeah.
Why have I never thought of road bacon before?
Just put it in a little sandwich bag.
With the paper towel in there?
Yep.
Everybody does it. I got to give props to Kenny Fiddler, actually our episode 40 guest. I saw his Instagram story a while back. He's getting ready for a road trip, and the dude just has a skillet full of bacon, and like it was just like got the road bacon ready. Like the dude was making a pack of bacon for the road, and I'm like, that is the smartest thing ever. Like, you know, you go on road trips, like my big thing on road trips is like beef jerky, definitely, like gummy worms, like some big Twizzlers.
Gardetto's guy.
Yeah, or some chips or something. You just like buy everything from the store or gas station, which is just fine. America is built on capitalism. But you just take a little extra time and effort, fire up some bacon, throw in a huge Ziploc with a paper towel, and then it's like leftover bacon, so good.
Yep. It's like, because it still holds its firmness.
Yeah, and the flavor is fantastic.
Oh I'm starving right now.
Okay, the sandwich, the 3-inch tuck, and the road bacon. I'm just saying, I'm probably going to be making some road bacon in the future. Life hack, cut your sandwich down a little bit. Pro tip, road trip bacon. Let's move on.
I'm going to go through the monthly budget I saw, and then we can get into Facebook Marketplace. This monthly budget's from one of those things. It's like, hey, we budget for you. You just put in your thing.
Is it one of those like apps, and then they try to give you a sample budget?
But I just took a screenshot of the sample budget, and I'm going to run through it for you.
Okay.
This guy's an idiot. His rent, almost $7,000 a month, which
it's a bougie ass apartment.
Yeah, that is like a 4-bedroom, 5.5 bath on the Upper East Side. Groceries, $140 a month. Phone bill, $75. So those aren't that bad. Rent's terrible. Groceries, phone bill, I can get on board with it. Podcast, $402 a month. Now, I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Wait, does he have a podcast, or is he just a consumer of podcasts?
A consumer, I'm assuming, that he spends $402 a month on podcasts. If you're spending that much on podcasts, float NBNH podcasts some of that money.
I'll take a quarter of that,
Yeah,
and like write you a thank you letter monthly.
Daily. $220 for CrossFit.
Yeah, we could probably go without that.
A month?
Can't you get a gym membership for like $15, $20 a month?
Yeah.
And you also don't die while doing it?
And it's like, can be good for your body, because apparently CrossFit's just like terrible for your joints as you get older.
Does your back hurt? Yes. Do you want it to hurt more? Yes. CrossFit's for you.
Do you want to have a hunchback by the time you're 34? Come on down. Bamboo toilet paper, $68.25 a month.
Let me research bamboo toilet paper real quick.
Also, I don't know how much bamboo toilet paper is, but I'm imagining this guy is using a ton of it.
How does it save trees? Isn't bamboo still a tree?
No, it's a weed.
Well, let's save the weeds too.
He's spending $44 on Peloton to go with his CrossFit membership. And here's where it gets really weird.
I'm sorry, go back. How much for Peloton?
$44.
And how much for CrossFit?
$220.
So we're at $264 a month just for...
It gets worse.
Okay.
Birth chart reading, $235 a month.
What?
I don't know what birth chart reading is, but this guy's spending $3,000 a year on it.
I'm on Amazon right now. Hate to get sidetracked, but I'm seeing 24 rolls of 3-ply for $38.50 I don't know if that.
So this guy's taking 7,000 shits a month to go through that much bamboo toilet paper.
This one's 24 rolls for $47.99. 100% bamboo jumbo rolls. I'm just trying to give our people 36 rolls, $69.99. We might have to make a switch to bamboo. Just kidding. I'm not doing that. I usually steal toilet paper.
Oh, when I used to work at the hockey rink in college, I would go into this one closet that had individual rolls of toilet paper, and I would just leave the night holding, like, I would have like 100 rolls of toilet paper in a garbage bag, and that's what my entire house used.
I mean, some could call this immature, others could call this resourcefulness, but it's usually like anybody in my family, because I'm like the baby of my family, like, hey, wanna go to Costco? Wanna go to Sam's Club? And then like get to check out, and then it's pretty much a staring contest of like, I'm not paying for this.
Oh, I'll just Venmo you after this. You just run into the car.
Yeah, we had to use your membership, so you got to pay for it. They wouldn't let us leave here if I tried to pay for this.
Logistical nightmare.
I don't want to get into logistics
for tax purposes. I couldn't pay for it. Sorry.
I was told that through my other business that I'm supposed to get like one of those executive cards to these. What do you call it? Like membership.
Like a Costco or a Sam's Club.
Yeah.
You can get in an hour earlier.
That's all it is?
Yeah. It's not great.
I was told that I was supposed to get an executive membership and then let my whole family use it. And I'm just like,
I think you get more, like, you can let your family use it. Like, because if you get a single membership, like, you can get a household, but it's only like 2 or something. Executive can be like up to 10.
Well, I was like, yeah, I'll do that. And then I expect shit to be dropped off at my door like once a month. And then like my lovely sister-in-law chimes in of, I'll do that. And you start bringing a dish or an entree to family supper. And it's like, joke's on you. I'm not fucking coming anymore. That one backfired. I'm going to get the executive card now. And then I'm like, yeah, Matt is the only one allowed on this. And then we're going to post pictures of us.
Just Matt and Tito, the homeless guy I met.
Tito's a nice guy. He deserves an executive membership to Costco.
So after birth chart reading for $235, this guy's spending $600 a month on Cool Sculpt session, which I'm assuming Cool Sculpt is like, it's kind of like cheap lipo. They literally like freeze fat cells.
Yes.
But $600 a month just spending a cool $7,200.
How many more budget items do we have here?
3.
Okay.
Noom, which I don't really know what it is, but it's $42 a month, so I don't really care. Sleep study, spending $400 a month on a sleep study.
Noom is weight loss.
So this guy's spending like $15,000 a year just on fitness.
And what are the final items?
And the last one is a sleep study for $400 a year, and then an MLM starter kit for $99.
What the fuck is MLM?
Multi-level marketing.
Oh.
So this guy's just joining a new MLM every month, being like, you know what, this one might hit. Well, Mary Kay didn't work out. I'm going to get into another one.
This sounds a lot similar to like those like HGTV shows where it's just like,
I work at a gas station.
Yeah, I work at a gas station. She's a part-time nanny every other weekend. Our budget is $478,000. How much does this monthly budget come out to?
$8,800 or $8,840.
And that's just on expenses. Like, obviously, you would still expect a little more disposal. And I'm not saying that making like $10,000+ a month is out of the realm of possibility. People do it all the time, but it's just like, what kind of budget is this? What does this guy do?
$140 on groceries, and there's no other food items related on there, and you're buying that much toilet paper. What are you eating?
Does this guy ever go to the bar?
No.
We should break down our budget sometime. I don't really have a budget. I probably should, but
I could read my credit card statements on here. It's fucking terrifying. I do it at work like almost monthly.
It's like sandwich, and it's going to be in like a clear, like you'll know what day of the week it is. Like,
oh my God, yeah.
Sandwich shop, gas station.
It's like,
run.
and it's like I opened up 2 separate tabs at the same bar in the same night. You're like, God damn it!
Wait, they overcharged me. Oh no, that's right. I had to open 2 tabs.
Or I'm looking at I have multiple credit cards. I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, so local watering hole on this day I spent $200, and on the same day on another card I spent $130 at the same place. It's like, oh my God. I had 2 tabs going. I was just floating between tables.
Classic. Sometimes you got to spread out the credit cards a little bit just to make you feel better.
Yep. Facebook Marketplace.
All right. It's a portion of our show where we examine Facebook Marketplace. It's so entertaining, and this could be really any listing on any sort of page. If people are trying to do a transaction that is ridiculous on the platform of Facebook, we're going to sniff it out and we're going to talk about it. Haven't done one in a little bit, it seems like, but we'll just go backwards in the pictures that we've sent to each other. I think it starts with the sod, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that's one.
Yeah, I did that phone locky thing.
Yeah.
And
this person has a picture of their backyard. Clearly not done. It's just dirt. First of all, they don't know how to spell. I'm going to read it verbatim. I'm search of anyone selling sod or getting rid of any. PM me, please, thanks.
What?
And then I love it because you have to put a price. Like if you do a listing, you have to put a price. And I love the ones that are 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
$123,000.
I'm going to actually list something, and it's going to be $1,200 or $1,234.
We should start finding items that could actually go for $1,234. Or we should find an item that would go for $123,123.
Yep.
And then, the caption is, I'm search of sod. Okay. Let's first breakdown.
Yeah,
Maybe you want to proofread you took the time to take a picture of your backyard. It's probably not their backyard. You took the time, though, to upload this picture. You took the time to go on to a platform. And not only once, but twice, you were supposed to say in search of sod, I'm assuming. And we managed to mess that up. So this man is illiterate.
In search of some schooling because you are a moron.
So here's the deal. Here's my thought and breakdown of it. First of all, whoever you bought this house from, I'm assuming you went through some sort of real estate agent.
Unless they fund with Dick and Jane the lawn.
Whatever. That person should probably automatically give you some recommendations if your house comes without a complete yard of hey, here's what you're buying. And then that's not too uncommon. It's a brand new build. Hey, you're not going to have any lawn. You're free to do it yourself, but ideally you just go get some sod and just have your lawn be put in for you. I get it. So they didn't do their job, first of all. They probably should have recommended somebody. Second of all, this is the Bismarck Mandan online garage sale. That is a metro area of over 100,000 people easily. Easily over 100,000 people. Bismarck is the capital city of North Dakota, in case you weren't aware. I have a gut feeling that there happens to be at least one business out there that is willing to come do this for you. Now, if you are on Facebook and you have a phone, that tells me that you have the tools and the slight wherewithal to go on to Google, perhaps. Go find a fucking yellow book with phone numbers in it.
They still make them.
I am willing to bet there is a company out there who, if you just give them a phone call.
Okay, you bet.
And the funny thing is, this guy put $5. I bet this cheap bastard is only willing to spend $5 and a yard full of sod installed too. What's your thoughts on this? It just pisses me off.
Or, okay, yeah, the Google thing. Or if you're wanting to save money, here's a wild idea. Go buy some fucking grass seed.
That is an option. I think that's why they give you the option of just planting your own grass. Obviously, there's a little more risk there, but it's probably a lot more affordable and maybe not done exactly right. Wait until this bastard realizes he's going to need a sprinkler line. In search of a sprinkler. It's like, dude, drive around town. You'll see trailers, enclosed trailers everywhere. It's like ABC sprinklers.
Go for a 10-minute drive, and you'll find whatever you need done for your lawn or house in that 10-minute drive just by finding work trucks.
I see a house next door. This person has neighbors. You go over and be like, hey, who did your grass for you?
Maybe they're blind and they're using the blind emoji and they just don't realize they didn't.
This person's name is Dalton, and they are a moron.
I had one come up that you thought you sent to me, or
we've seen it before.
Yeah. Some lady just says cool decor, and it's
$5.
Yeah, it's $5 for a half of a cow skull with one horn.
Yep. It's just pretty much like the top part of the skull and like you have one horn coming out the side.
And this is like the plot of like a true crime podcast of how this is set up. Can meet Monday morning at 9-ish at old Kmart parking lot. And that's the last time we saw her. Yeah, I was going to buy a half a cow skull. Jesus.
I have a feeling this person doesn't live in the area too, if they're like specific about the time, and they're selling it for $5.
The people that are like willing to deliver to Bismarck or Dickinson and you live somewhere in between, it's like you're going to drive 45 minutes to make $10 on a used shirt.
Never stop hustling. Always be closing.
With gas prices, you're losing money at that.
Always be closing. Sod Services, probably out there. ABC. Pretty ridiculous. Yeah, this skull has clearly just been bashed in. It's like rotting away. What kind of decor would that be?
So my family has this like little cabin in the North Dakota Badlands. And when I'd go up there when I was a kid, I would just search for cow bones like this. And I found this big cow skull. And my dad hung it on the side of our garage. And I spent like 30 minutes one day kicking a soccer ball at it. And I finally hit it. And this thing just exploded. And I was like, I was playing soccer and I accidentally hit the cow skull and it broke. And then like if you looked, I was just out there just aiming at it for like a half hour.
Took you a half hour, huh?
Yeah, I'm not very good.
I wonder why you didn't go on to play collegiate ball. Moving on.
Short answer, no talent.
All of these items are $5, which is funny. I'll just read the description. One mitt, $5. Now it is a picture of a baseball mitt. Looks like a very old mitt. I mean, I've had baseball mitts over my lifetime. Judging at the way it's folded, looks like it looks like it would hurt to catch. Yeah, it looks like
that it was definitely like sitting in the bottom of like a toy crate.
For sure. But the best part of this is, well, one part is they live in Hazen, North Dakota, which I love. This is on the Bismarck Mandan online garage sale. Like, we should just be like, Billings, Montana, willing to meet at Kmart.
In Billings. Meet at the old Kmart because there's none left. So just go to the nearest old Kmart and we'll shoot you in the face.
But I immediately screenshotted this and I sent it to Matt. And the funny part is, this person's who posted, their name is Ryan, but there's a name of Casey something on the mitt, like written in permanent marker with a phone number on it. And like I'll admit I did this as a kid too, because like
everyone did. Like you have a cooler, even if it's a shitty cooler, you had your name and phone number on it. Now I don't want anyone knowing my phone number or name if I lose something.
Which is really funny because like a cooler, it's like how big of a moron do you have to be to just blatantly leave your cooler somewhere? But a baseball mitt is understandable, like if you're a kid, going to games, practices, playing at the park, whatever. Like, yeah, you might accidentally forget it because you're a kid and it's just like whatever. So I've done my name and phone number on my mitt too, but I just think it's funny that a gentleman named Ryan posted this. Clearly, he is in desperate need of $5 because he is selling Casey's baseball mitt from 1999.
Why not just flip the mitt over and take the picture from that side? You're reaching for $5. Or here's a wild idea. You live in Hazen, drive 10 minutes to Lake Skakawea and throw the fucking thing in the lake.
But I think it just goes back to like the whole idea of like, why would you go through the time and effort to sell something in a small town for $5. Hey, go to a garage sale and just be like, hey, here's my information. I would like to sell this for $5. Sell it for $6. I'll give you $1 for selling it for me.
Yeah, if
that would be a better way of doing this than let's go on to Facebook. Hazen's like fucking, I don't know, 50 miles away. Let's just say, I'm not really sure.
It's like 1,000 people. So if someone's having a garage sale, there's a good chance that you know that person that's having a garage sale.
I have a feeling this Ryan guy has a drug problem because he is selling Casey's baseball mitt for $5.
I'm pretty sure I played soccer with Ryan's brother.
Yeah, and I texted this to Matt, and he said he knew.
I know the guy whose glove it is.
It is 70 miles away from the town that it is supposed to be in.
Will deliver to the Kmart parking lot.
Nope. Just says one mitt, $5. Hey, I'll meet you halfway.
I know what I have here. Yeah, you have
no
one mitt.
low balls. Absolutely ridiculous, but let's put a pin in the episode. That was 162 for you. Happy to be back recording. Plenty of exciting stuff coming up. Like I said, stay tuned. We will be announcing the date for Comedy Night 5. You don't want to miss it. The fact that it's Comedy Night 5 proves that it's been a success in the past. So we're going to keep doing it. It's going to be down the road. Give Matt and I enough time to write some fresh jokes and make sure that we provide you, our lovely listener, with the best experience possible. If you can physically make it to that show, Matt, what else can they do?
Follow us on social media at MBNH Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. And leave us a review on Apple Podcasts.
Episode 163 up next.
This is a freestyle to the top of the dome. Here we go. And I do it again. I do it only once. Again. I do it only once. I go down that river slow to the place I shoot like Carmelo. I'm living my life and we go hard, floating on the river in a party barge. And I see you on a sea, dude. Your shirt was white and it was see-through. Please use your spray, no mosquitoes. Every time you found me, it's a free throw. Hey girl, why you calling me? I said, oh please don't bother me. I'm so sick of apologies. That's so damn appalling to me. But